because he feels like he's been treated badly in general, and a bunch of other people on board clearly feel like they've been treated badly in general. I mean, we've seen numerous people now who are still on board say that they feel like they're being treated badly, but more specifically, people who've now left the cruise who can speak a bit more open about it because they're not on the cruise anymore. They don't have to have any awkward conversations with people on board after they've made the video, but they have came out and said that they got treated really badly and they were very angry about their experience. So in that case, I can definitely see where the frustration will be, because Royal Caribbean is now paying people to go on board, and if they're going to be paying people to go on board, they probably have to be positive, realistically, right? They're not going to pay people to come on board and slate the thing. So now it seems like a lot of people are feeling like there is going to be a very dishonest representation of what is actually happening on the ship. And this actually goes even further when we look at Mark Sebastian's most recent video, where he's replying to someone called Erica from America, who's another TikToker who's very big, does like videos talking about working on cruises and whatnot. And she's actually made a video saying that she is going to be going on the cruise herself, and says, I run the crew ambassador program for fellow crew and I'll be highlighting crew on board. So she's going to be more so working on the cruise, but obviously creating content as well, because that is kind of what her content is about in the first place. And she does have nearly 700k followers on TikTok. She's a big TikToker. Even though she is going to be working on the cruise, this is going to be great promotion for the cruise. And Mark Sebastian has actually replied to this video talking about what the crews are doing in terms of paying people to go on board, but also claims that the crews are now paying people who have made videos, maybe like negative videos that are currently on board, and is saying, we will give you some bonuses if you stop talking negatively and start talking positively.
You guys suck at social media. Fire the whole team, truly, for the love of God. But you know what, I get it. I would be pissed too if I launched the largest cruise ship ever created, only to have every headline talking about the chaos happening aboard the famed 9-month cruise. The same cruise that your CEO called a pain in the ass and was created solely to raise the funds to finish the Icon of the Seas.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have covered some of this stuff before, especially the fact that apparently the cruise has just been made to fund a different cruise ship that they're building, which, I mean, like, look, people are pissed off about it. I feel like it seems very normal for a business to do something that could create funding for a new part of the business. That's just what happens. But I have seen a lot of people kind of replying to the Mark Sebastian video saying that he is, like, bitter and, like, overly angry about the situation. But I think you have got to put in perspective that we have found out, like, from Christian Hull, who's now on the ship, that there generally was a group of people on the ship that were purposely trying to make Mark Sebastian's life, like, as miserable as possible on the ship. So he's going to obviously have a lot of resentment towards the ship in general. Like, I would too if I was in that scenario.
And don't think I haven't seen how vastly different you're treating Christian Hull now that he's aboard. Sending 48 bottles of water to his room. Babe, did you think I was gonna be mad at that? Like, that's what I was asking for the whole time. I was sitting there saying, hey, I think everyone deserves these small conveniences, not just people you say are special. I know you think that reads as, ha ha ha, we're in on the funny joke about the water bottles, but in reality that just reads as, if you talk good about us, we'll give you stuff.
Okay, so what he's now referencing is the fact that in Christian Hull's video, it was obviously just went on the cruise, he has shown that he's been given plenty of bottles of water, and in Mark Sebastian's videos, when he was on the cruise, his biggest complaint, or one of his biggest complaints, was that you just couldn't get water. So the fact that Christian Hull is now getting these bottles of water, I feel like he thinks that Royal Caribbean is doing this in a way to kind of piss him off, and like as a joke to say like, oh yeah, we'll give Christian Hull the water, Mark Sebastian didn't get it. I don't know if it really is that deep. It might just be a case that they have heard the criticism and have decided to give people plenty of more water, which would be a very good outcome from Mark's videos. But he seems to think that it's a lot more personal than that. Maybe it is, I'm not sure.
Royal Caribbean has contacted some of the TikTokers aboard the 9-month cruise and told them that if they make videos about how much fun they're having on the world cruise, they will give them a free excursion.
I mean, look, right, we don't know if this is true. Obviously, the campaign is true. They are trying to pay people to go on board, but also they are now apparently trying to pay people currently on the ship, or like reward them with like a free excursion if they talk positively about the cruise. Like, if this is true, the PR team, I'm assuming, are clearly trying to solve the whole like negativity around the cruise, which, I mean, I feel like it's going to have a very negative effect on them, because at the end of the day, if a bunch of TikToks start coming out now talking like overly positive about the cruise, when we already know everyone's opinions are very negative about the cruise, no one's going to really believe them. And because no one's going to believe them, the videos aren't going to get any views because people know it's not honest. So yeah, you might have got more positive videos out of it, but no one's actually going to see them. Like, so it kind of defeats the purpose. And also, maybe we should just let people have their honest opinions on cruises, right? Like, these TikTok videos are kind of reviews in a way, talking about their experience on the cruise. Just let them be honest. And if they have a critique or they're having a negative experience, maybe try and fix it. And in that way, they might give you a more positive reaction that's a lot more honest because it's been fixed.
I'd like to remind you that I went onto that cruise saying, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make content. And honestly, if Royal Caribbean was smart, they would have been taking notes. Good night.
Okay, look, that is Mark Sebastian's video. I think opinions on Mark's videos in general are pretty divided, especially in my comment section. There seems to be like a very 50-50 response from people who like his content, who don't like his opinions and whatever else. But in general, I can see why he would be pissed off with some of the people on the cruise, especially if it is true, and it seems like it's true, that a group of people on there, like more of the Pinnacle members, were trying to make his life as miserable as possible. Like, if they genuinely are targeting him for no reason, or I guess because he was making negative content, it's bang out of order, and I can see why he'd be angry about that. I'm not sure if the whole water bottles thing is genuinely, like, meant to be a personal dig towards him. Maybe they are trying to just better the whole, like, water situation. I'm not sure. Obviously, he seems to think that it is a bit more personal. But yeah, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section on the whole getting people on the cruise and paying them to give a good opinion on the cruise. How do you think that's going to go? Do you really think that this is going to be beneficial for the cruise? Just let me know all your opinions in the comment section down below. Now, just to end the video, I'll give you a slight update on Christian Hull, who's obviously on board, and he is definitely the biggest creator on there at the minute. His views in his videos have been in the hundreds of thousands, and recently on the cruise, there seems to be a lot less attention on it. So the fact that he's now on it creating content is kind of giving it a bit more of a buzz on TikTok, I guess. But recently he spoke about and shown more of the weather conditions on the cruise and shown how much more of an uncomfortable ride it is. I mean, this is kind of all we've seen so far. Like, it generally seems like there isn't a few days go by until we see more videos talking about how bumpy the cruise is, how bad the weather is, and how uncomfortable it is to be on board. And actually just 2 days ago, he showed that there was a cyclone next to the ship. Yeah, as you can see, it's this kind of string here. String's not the right word, but that's kind of what it looks like. Which I've got to say, they seem very string here. String's not the right word, but that's kind of what it looks like. Which I've got to say, they seem very calm on board. That would actually probably scare me a little bit, even though it really wouldn't be a problem. But he also went on to show an example of how bumpy the ship was by hanging his phone from like a coat hanger to show you how much it moves. Yeah, I mean, we can see the phone rocking back and forth. And it actually does kind of put in perspective how bumpy that ship is. And that seems so bad. Can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be? 24/7? And some people have been on the ship for months. Yeah, like, it seems like a very
I'm just using a regular pen.
But either way, I'm going to leave the video
I don't know,
there.
this
Obviously,
doesn't really have a brand. It's probably just a fucking hotel pen I stole.
About people getting paid to go on board has caused a lot of backlash, a lot of people being angry about it, so I thought it was definitely worth covering. Let me know your opinions on that and everything that I spoke about in today's video in the comment section down below. Also, if you did enjoy this video, please
tutorial on how to draw
subscribe
faces.
if you are new, and
Just
until
draw
next time,
them.
I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, good.
I do the circle method.
Guys, let me ask you a question.
That's just what I do.
What would you do in this situation? If a woman was invading your personal space so she could take a selfie for her Instagram followers while you're simply
Yeah,
just
that's all you
trying to
can
enjoy
do,
your
just
meal,
draw.
would you sit there and
A lot of
let her
tutorials
go,
are very
or would you
biased,
ask her
I've
if
noticed.
you can take her picture elsewhere? Because
So-
here's the thing for me. While that lady is standing there for several minutes on end trying to get the perfect selfie, I feel like I can't have a conversation with the person that I'm eating with because she'll hear everything. I feel like I couldn't move an inch because I'd be ruining her shot. And just like the girl in the video, I feel like I couldn't continue eating because this woman's presence right behind me feels awkward.
Hi.
But I don't think these influencers perceive the world around them. Because while this couple is just trying to enjoy a nice romantic meal together on their date night, this influencer has her booty cheeks on full display right in front of them. All for a picture that'll probably get 200 likes at most. And I think it's interesting how far we've come in regards to influencer culture, because we've become so used to seeing this behavior as an isolated incident that when you actually see them next to normal people in public, you actually start to remember how bizarre and almost dystopian their antics are. Like, I would genuinely love to possess this little self-awareness.
Okay.
But don't even get me started on the influencers that think their us is their most important and valuable asset. Because they're gonna pull it out anywhere. Who cares if it's public indecency, right? Because tell me why you're on a ski trip, okay? And the only thing that's on your mind is not to ski. No, it's to whip your booty out.
It's too cold to do that.
What happened to just throwing up a peace sign? Or is that too
It's too
boring
cold
now? But
to be in
secondly,
the
a
snow
mountain
with no
ranger
pants on.
who
You gotta,
walked on this
unless you're getting
hill
groceries.
has to tell her to put her booty cheeks away because it's a public space with kids around. My only question is, why the hell would you go to an environment that is historically family friendly and do this? As if there literally isn't anywhere else in the world for you to do this? And again, people who are just trying to enjoy their meal outside have have to now be unwillingly subjected to full cheeks.
Oh my god, is this really happening?
It's really happening. It's really happening. People are having to stop for them.
Really?
She has a flash on too. Oh my god. This is so funny. She said to shake her ass up. These people are trying to walk through. I'm dead. This is the funniest shit.
Oh my
Hi. Hi. Thank you.
Why can't you do this in your house? What does being on the street add to this picture? You're holding people up on the sidewalk for something that could be done in your bedroom. But it doesn't stop there, okay? What is the very first thing you guys think to do when going to a beautiful
Bye.
national park such as Yosemite National Park? Is it to have a lovely picnic with your family? Is it to go on a hike to enjoy the lovely weather? Or is it to pull your pants down and have somebody take pictures of your bum right on top of your car? Because obviously that's my first thought. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Work it. Oh, how about this mouse? Yeah, this is it. That's it. Should I show my butt a little bit? Oh, I'm showing my butt. I'm showing my butt.
And you said it.
Oh my god.
What happened to just a simple smile in a picture? What happened to that? It just pisses me off that these influencers will go to what is supposed to be the most kid-friendly place on earth just so that they can sexualize themselves publicly as fetish content for their 600 Instagram followers. And it makes me even angrier because there will just be families who are trying to take wholesome tourist pictures while they're on vacation, but they can't even do something as simple as that safely because some influencer in lingerie decided she needed to take these raunchy pictures in public. I'm sorry, but that is actual degenerate behavior. But as per usual on this channel, it gets worse. Because not only are these influencers being inappropriate in what is supposed to be a family-friendly environment, but they're also making their own children take pictures of them in next to nothing.
No, that's funny. That is funny as fuck.
Are you coming?
OMG.
I can't believe you're doing that.
You're in a tiny bikini, posing very suggestively with your husband. Why on earth would you make your child take that picture? I wouldn't want to take pictures of my parents in almost no clothing, posing very suggestively. But these influencer parents think this is perfectly normal because they don't even have to be at the beach in order to get their kid to take pictures of them in their bikinis. Use a damn tripod because this is just incredibly uncomfortable to do for both parties. Well, maybe not for the mom because she clearly doesn't see anything wrong with this. Look, I want to move on from these attention fiends already because now we're going to talk about the influencers who think the entire world revolves around them and nothing else matters but their picture for Instagram.
Watch out! Watch out!
What do you get?
She was
out of posting in
just
front
got
of
run
a fire
over.
truck?
The fuck?
What do
Move.
you get out of posing in front of a fire truck? Why did you keep posing even though you had several people telling you to move? And only then did you move out of the way when you were rightfully beeped at by an ambulance. There is some poor person in the back of that truck who needs urgent medical attention, so get out of the way. You shouldn't have even been in the way to begin with. Then there was this person dancing terribly on the sidewalk, and even when a guy tries to move out of her way, she still knocks directly into him because she doesn't care about her surroundings. And then she doesn't even apologize afterwards. Oh, y'all piss me off so bad. Or how about these two idiots who are holding up New York traffic just so they can get the perfect picture for Instagram? There's only 2 small lanes. You're inconveniencing and get back home, but you're making them move around you. God, someone should have just fought it and rammed into the back of their car. It's what they deserve. And again, these people take up space that isn't theirs and then get mad at people for not moving out of the way for their entitled asses. That one made my blood boil. You don't want to get hit? Then don't stand in the middle of the road and let yourself get hit. Simple as that. And I don't even know how some people just let this happen. Why are we treating influencers with respect when they don't respect you? Why are we giving them time when they don't care about cutting into your time? Start telling these idiots to move! Because you want to know what happens if you don't yell at these people? You want to know what happens if you don't honk your horn at them? They think they deserve to make an entire line of cars wait behind them because they've parked their car in the middle of the exit just so they can take a corny Instagram picture that nobody cares about. The entitlement and the lack of respect for literally anything and anybody else around them is truly disgusting. And there is a special place in hell for them. Just like there's a special place in hell for these people who think it would be so funny to take pictures of themselves in front of an open paramedic truck for an Instagram picture, despite the fact that there's someone in there who legitimately is in need of desperate help and is not in a situation that should just be taken lightly. Have some damn humility. There's also a special place in hell for the parents who care more about and pay more attention to their social media than their baby in their pram. What happens if somebody had just snatched your baby and run away? What happens
They
if
wouldn't
somebody
have a
thought they
baby
were
anymore.
hilarious and pushed your pram over, therefore injuring your baby? God, some people just don't deserve to be parents. I'm sorry if that's harsh, but it's the truth. And don't even get me started on these complete brain-dead humans who would prefer to take a cool picture for their 30 followers in front of huge fires rather than respond like a normal person by, I don't know, calling the police department, running away so you don't risk giving yourself third-degree burns. Actually, no, they know exactly what they're doing. They just don't care. So why should I be concerned? It's natural selection at this point. To end this video, I want to show you guys probably the most horrific example of these influencers in the wild. Because these scummy bitches purposely left bags of garbage on the beach that they pretended to clean up.
She's doing it again. The beach and the garbage 2.0.
2.0. Alright, I did these two.